Sandpaper, it's easy to use, right? Well, it can be simple, but who here knows that common sense is commonly uncommon? And I don't mean that mean. Here's what I'm saying, that we can take sandpaper and use it more effectively. And if it's one thing that we overlook in wood carving, I'm telling you guys right now, it is sanding, and you've heard me say it. But here's what I want this video to do today for you guys. Hang with me. I'm going to show you how to effectively use sandpaper. Industrial sandpaper. I'm telling you guys, it pays off to have a good quality sandpaper. I really don't do store-bought sandpaper. I'll get into that later, but stay tuned to the end of the video because I will show you guys how to get this stuff and this big old thing like this for super cheap, and it will last you all day. One of the main things wood carvers struggle in is grit progression. What does that mean? And I will tell you guys simply this: it covers up scratches with finer scratches. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with a 120 grit on this wood carving right here. You've probably seen this from my other video. I have some scratches down here. Now what we're gonna do is just kind of buff this out, and I'm just gonna show you guys how this works. So if you can see right there, I'm gonna take this right here. Now I'm gonna go with the grain of the wood. Now you can kind of go cross grain sometimes. You will see me do that, but for the most part, I'm going with the grain of the wood. Okay, you can see right here, I took the scratches out with this 120 grit. So here's a rule for you. If the scratches are deep, you need grittier sandpaper. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is go to 220. And 220 is finer. This is gonna cover up, like I said, the scratches with finer scratches. It's gonna make the surface smooth. And here is the 220. You can see right here, it looks a lot smoother with the 220 compared to right over here. Now we're going to take this a step farther and go up to 400 grit. Now most wood carvers will tell you this: when you start getting up to 400 grit, you start getting really fine. Most people stop with 220, but on projects like this, obviously I'm just using this as a demo. I would go about this a little different. Some of the projects I do, especially a lot of the tomahawks and everything, I sand really fine because of the detail I have in them. So right here, you can tell the difference in this 220 grit. So now we're gonna go to 400 grit, and this is where we will notice a dramatic difference. Here's a quick tip for you guys. If you don't have any sanding sticks, you can take a clothespin like this one right here, just take it apart, and this will work perfect as a sanding stick. I actually do this a lot. I'm just gonna pull that close right there, and this is gonna give me a flat surface to work with. Because when you're doing this with your hand, like I've been showing you, it's gonna be inconsistent. So if you want this to be consistent, you wanna get something flat, you can take a regular flat file and put this in and do that with, or you can take something like this. You probably have these laying around. You can get plastic or wood ones. We're gonna take this right here and go along the side. Remember this when you guys are sanding. With finer sandpaper like this, it's easier to get the pores clogged. You can see this right here is clogged. I'm gonna turn it over to a new side. Also, remember, you need to let your sandpaper do the work for you. I could stay here and just, grind on this all day. No, you wanna have some pressure, but let the sandpaper do the work for you. With grittier sandpaper, you can actually make your wood carving worse and just keep adding deep scratches. You can see right here, the 400 grit made a complete difference in this. I can just run my finger over here and just tell the effect of it. Now, to take this a step further, we can go up even higher. Normally, I would go from 400 to 600, but I don't have a 600 piece here, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip to 1,000. Now this right here is wet dry sandpaper, meaning I can use it wet or dry. People use this on a lot of stuff like metal and aluminum and different things like that, but you can use it on your wood carvings here. This stuff clogs up really easy. I'm just gonna use my thumb here. Wow, that's really taking it up another notch. Now you're seeing that getting gummed in there, so you wanna turn it over. Okay, I can tell a tremendous difference after that 1000 grit. Wow, that thing is just super smooth compared to over here. And you can see how it took a lot of the scratches out. And so that is the name of the game, covering up scratches with finer scratches. So the grit progression I just did was 120, 220, 400. I skipped 600 and 800 because I didn't have that sandpaper, and I went to 1000. In some cases, it's all right to skip grit progression if this base wood is super just easy to sand, very soft wood, and I was able to skip that. So remember that in some of your projects, you just don't have to be so meticulous with it. On this tomahawk right here, I did a lot of grit progression on this because it was a fine detail piece. Now, you don't need to move up in grit progression like this on all your pieces. I know this video sounds simple in theory, but people are simply not grasping this theory. Just use your sandpaper, use it correctly, go around your edges, go around the corners, and just make everything nice and smooth. I promise you, if you start using sandpaper correctly with proper grit progression, you're gonna see a very big pop in your art. You're gonna see a big pop in the wood carvings that you do. This is one of my best kept secrets, and I preach it in every video. So where do I get my sandpaper? I love industrial made sandpaper. It lasts so much longer and you save money in the long run. I got this at cleansporeswoodworkingshop.com. I will have a link below. They are a fantastic place to do business with. I bought this in a bargain box, and what this is called lathe end rolls. And you can see right here on the end right there, you see all that? That's because that was just a blemish from the factory, and these people will take this right here because this is still very usable, and they sell it at a crazy low price. I bought this stuff almost 3 to 4 years ago. And guys, this will probably last me a lifetime, and it was well worth the money. It's super cheap. You guys go check it out. I promise you won't be sorry. There we go, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot from it. And do me a favor, hit that like button and smash that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And leave me a comment below. I want to know the projects you're working on. I would love to talk with you guys. I will see you later. Go have a great day and be creative.